Assalamu alaikum guys, hope you're well. If you haven't checked out my previous video, go do it now please. So it's literally just me kind of giving an introduction of why I'm making this YouTube channel and what type of content I'll be posting. Very excited. So in this specific video I'm just gonna quickly go over my story, like how I got introduced into Islam, and then later on in my other videos I'll just elaborate of how I am now and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna waste any more time. I'm just gonna quickly go over it. So this is also gonna be a two-part series, so I will obviously I'll try to quickly just say as much as I can in one part, and then I'll just continue with the story in the other, and I will post that just on a different day, inshallah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just start with my story. So my journey began in December 2019. So at the time I was a full-time student and I worked full-time as well, and I know other students would be able to understand me. It is hard for you, it is challenging for your mental health, definitely. So at the time I was going through quite some hardship, and I was just I found it very hard to deal with things, and I was going through depression at the time, so I was just in a very low point in my life. You know, a lot of people probably wouldn't confess this sort of thing to, you know, especially to strangers, people online, but it is what it is. And I was just going through such a hard time at the time, and I felt this emptiness within me, and I just didn't know how to feel it. I just didn't know how to get better, and you know, and I got really depressed, and I was almost just desperate for something, just give me a light and just put me on the right path and just give me some direction in life of what am I supposed to do. So there was one night where I sat, one night I went downstairs and I sat in my living room, and I was so sad. I started crying, I started bawling, and I was just so upset, and I just wanted to get better, and I was just so frustrated, and I just collected myself a little bit, and I decided I'm going to speak out to God. Keeping in mind, previous to that day, I did not believe in God. I didn't understand. I didn't want to understand. I didn't, you know, I come from quite a religious, you know, my mum's Christian, so it was my grandma. So, but myself, growing up in the UK, I wasn't religious whatsoever. So it was something different for me. So I'll just continue with the story. So that night I decided to speak out to God. So technically I made dua, like I just spoke directly to God, and I said all of my problems and how I feel, and I stated how I want to be guided to the right direction. I want to be better. I want my life to change, because I was doing so many things I shouldn't be able, you know, I shouldn't do, and you know, that was kind of corrupting me and my mental health and everything like that. And so when I spoke out and I was crying, and I don't know what happened, but instantly, completely instantly, it's just after I finished, I felt so, I don't even know how to describe it. I felt so euphoric. I felt so, like, this emptiness within me has instantly filled up, and since that day I was like, I think I believe in God. I didn't know who I spoke out to. I didn't know who I was talking to, and that would make me really curious. So the day after, I decided to look into different religions, and the day when I started looking into religions, that's when I discovered Islam. But I am actually gonna leave the rest of the story on part 2. So I will be posting that soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum guys, hope you're well. So welcome back to my channel. If you haven't watched the first video, so part 1, this is part 2, please go watch it now to just give you more context about what the last video was about. So I'm not gonna waste any time, I'm just gonna carry on. So what I last spoke about was being curious and just looking into different religions. So the most logical thing for me was to obviously look into Christianity and Orthodox, because that's what my family believed in. So my mum was Christian and my dad's side is Christian, Catholic, Orthodox, but I just never had that connection. I tried to read the Bible and it just, I was holding it, it's just, I don't know, something wasn't feeling right, and that's what made me more curious of why, who's it at that night that I spoke to, why doesn't it feel right? So that's what I did. I just literally went and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna look into different religions. So I looked into maybe I'm Jewish, maybe I'm I believe in Buddhism, whether I believe in Christianity, whether I believe in this, so I looked at quite a wide range of religions to see what worked for me. And the thing is, I realized every single time I would look into Islam, there was something that made me feel like something drew me to Islam. I don't know why. I really can't explain it. It was just it was this it's like imagining this magnet just kind of drawing you into Islam. But so I was just very curious at the time. I was very curious. So because it was lockdown at the time, so since that day where I I was feeling sad and I cried, so this was probably 3 months, 4 months after it happened. I was still looking into things and I tried to broaden my knowledge and stuff like that. So I don't know, and trust me when I tell you this, it was like a magnet, literally. So what I would do is I would still read books, or I would go online and I would watch these scholars, talking about certain subjects, and it just made me and I kept telling myself no, I don't believe, it can't be. It goes things against my family and everything like that. So, but there was this one day where I went to see my friend. So she was quite a dear friend of mine, and so we went to the shops, and usually with this friend I usually would go have a drink with, and I would have I would eat anything. And at the time when I met with her, I stopped drinking, and I actually stopped eating pork by that time as well. So when she asked whether we want to drink, because it was just a casual thing for us to do, I said, you know what, no, I don't really want to do that anymore. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. And she also found some snacks which had pork in them, and I was just like, yeah, no, I don't really eat pork anymore. And obviously I don't know, people would probably put 2 and 2 together and they think and she asked me, it's Anna, are you Muslim by any chance? And when you say things without thinking twice, and so that's what happened to me. So when I replied, I instantly replied, I said, not yet. And as soon as I said that, I was like, you know what, this is so crazy. I completely shocked myself, because this whole time I had this connection, and I tried to just kind of tell myself no, I don't believe. And I just kind of was thinking, that was what my subconscious mind was probably thinking, just this not, yeah, it's something I really wanted to do, but just trying to, I tried to sort of deny myself. So So that was around March 2020. and and then since then, obviously, I tried to learn how to pray, and stuff like that. I just kind of tried to be the best that I could, but I realized it wasn't really realistic, because I wanted to wait a whole year to take my shahada, but I don't know what something about happened. But when it was the month of Ramadan, oh my God, I my iman, it got so strong. Like, the basically, so my belief, it got so strong up to a point where I was just like, you know what, this is something I really want to do. And and taking your shahada is just, it's a lifelong decision, and I never felt so strongly about something in my life. So so when Ramadan actually ended, I reached out to mom. I spoke on the phone. I also wrote a couple of emails to book an appointment, to go to the mosque and actually take my shahada there. So, because I didn't have Muslim friends at the time, all of my other friends, that were either from, they believed in different religions, or they weren't religious at all. So it's not something I could have done there and then with my friends. So I decided, since I've started this journey all by myself, I'm gonna do it by myself. And I felt like I would feel so much reward from doing that, because I can proudly tell someone I haven't been influenced by someone else. Like, this whole journey of mine has literally been me, myself, and I, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So yeah, and so in June, late June, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to the mosque and take my shahada, and that's what happened. And that's the best decision I've ever made in my life. I'm genuinely really happy. Like, the fact that I'm telling you guys a story is something really personal. I haven't told a lot of people. And if some things don't make sense, or if you feel like there's some parts which you like to know more, please just let me know. Because obviously I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am generally quite nervous of just telling my story, because it's like, me being a Reba. But I really hope that someone is going to watch this video, and just, it's gonna help them somehow. I genuinely want to help people, and I really, really hope it's helped someone to either get, to kind of increase their mom, and for some people who are like seeking out for advice or stuff like that, I really hope I've helped them somehow. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for listening to me, and Assalamu alaikum.